So today we're going to get started with a floor workout. Let's go start on our hands and knees. And I'm going to have you do is a bird dog. So you're going to reach one leg back, reach your opposite hand out in front. Whoa, and get your balance. And core is tight, pull your tummy in. And once you feel like you're comfortable with this, what we're going to do is move. We're going to touch your hand to your knee and reach back out. And try to get your arm and leg all the way out straight and parallel to the floor each time. Reach and touch, and reach and touch. And we're going to try about 10 of these. Always lengthen out your arm and leg all the way if you can. And we'll do one more. And then we're going to try the other side. Same thing, reach out there, get your balance. And then we're going to bring the hand to the knee and extend all the way out, reaching for the walls. And touch here and reach and touch and reach. Nice long arm and leg each and every time. Still pulling in your tummy. That'll help you balance. Let's just do a couple more of these. And then we're done. All right, the next one we're going to try is also on hands and knees. We're going to use some light weights. I think we should start with the 5s. Now, if you get to a point where you're like, well, I can do 15 of these on each side and this is no problem, then it's time to go up to the next level weight. So 5 is a really great place to start. You can eventually maybe step up to 8s with this one. That's probably going to be as much as you ever need to do. So again, we're going to start here on our hands and knees. Square off your shoulders, and you want to keep your shoulders square to the floor the whole time. You're not trying to crank it open like this with this one. So knees a little wider will help you have a good base. And we're going to lift one arm up and out to the side, bring it down, and then switch and lift the other arm up. Think about squeezing your shoulder blade in towards your spine each time as you lift up. And remember, we're only lifting till your arm is parallel to the floor, and we're not turning our body. Our torso is staying square to the floor the whole time. You can have a little bend in your elbow, that's fine. I'm going to do one more each way. And remember, I said is you can do 10 of these on each side and then work up to 15 on each side and then go up to a different weight. Now, for the next one, we're going to do triceps. So again, we're going to be on our hands and knees, but you might be able to go up a little heavier on this one. Just kind of play it by ear. You're going to need to decide what weight you can handle. When you do a tricep kickback, you're going to want to bring your elbow up here next to your side and keep it there. So the elbow's not moving. We're not doing any of this. We're going to stay up here, and we're going to just straighten the arm back and then bend it so that your forearm is pointed at the floor, and then straighten it and back to the floor. You don't want to get in the habit of swinging it all the way through like this because that's just a lot of momentum. That's not going to be helpful. That part's kind of just a cheat. So we're going to just do from here straight back. So press back and in, press back and in. And you'll start to feel your tricep muscle. Let's try 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great, and then we'll switch to the other side and do the same thing. Again, keep your elbow up by your body and press back and in. Press back and straight down. Try 5 more. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, great. So this next one we're going to try, you won't need any weights. I'm going to have you lay on your back. I'm sorry, on your tummy. And we're going to keep your legs on the ground, bring your head all the way down here. Now, the easiest way to do these is to have your hands back here by your sides, okay? Nose is pointed at the floor. You don't want to be looking out here. That's kind of hard on your neck. So try to keep your nose pointed down. And you're just going to lift your chest and your face away from the floor and back down. So you're going up, down, and if you add the breathing with it, it helps because it's hard to breathe when you're laying on your tummy. So if you inhale as your body goes up, it gives you some space to get that air in, and then exhale as you go down. Inhale, exhale. Now, if these get to be easy, you can move your arms and do them here. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and lift. That makes it a little harder because now you have the weight of your arms up here. And if you feel like that's too easy, then you can start reaching your arms out here and doing Superman. Now, notice I'm not lifting my feet, only working on my upper body. And you can pick any one of those hand positions, whichever one works best for you. The next one we're going to try is swimming. So again, we're going to be starting out on our tummy. You're going to extend your arms out here in front of you. Again, keep your nose pointed down at the floor. And you're going to lift your opposite arm and leg off the floor and bring them down. And then the other pair. Make sure you get your thigh off the floor a couple of inches and down. And up and down. Up and down. Lift and down. And up and down. Keep on going with this one. We'll do a few more. So this is a great one for your back. All right, one more time, and we'll rest. Now we're going to roll over and lay on our backs, and we're going to use the weights again. So we're going to start out with a chest fly. Now I'm going to start with a light weight. Again, we'll build up from 10 reps up to 15 reps, and then if you need to change weights, you can. The easiest way to do this is with your feet close together and your weight is up here. And again, we can build up on how much weight we're going to use. We're going to start with a 5, and you're going to lower that weight down to the side, slight bend in the elbow, and bring it back up, down, and up. Now, if you want to add a little more core work and make this a little more challenging, and besides adding weight, you can take your feet up to here when you do them. That's good. Do 2 more. All right, and then we're going to switch to the other arm. Again, remember you can start with your feet down. Slight bend in the elbow. Try to touch the elbow to the floor, but not actually rest down there. And if you're finding these to be too easy, that's when you can go ahead and pick up your feet and do it like this. And build your way up to 15 reps again. Do 2 more like this. There you go. Good job. So this next one we're going to do, you won't need a weight. I'm going to set that off to the side. We're going to do knee drops side to side. So this one works your obliques. Now, you can make these easier or harder by where you place your hands. and where you place your feet. So arm movements, this easiest one is here because you've got lots of stability from your hands. The thing is you want to build up to not cheating with your hands here, so you can move them in a little closer, you can bring them to here, you can even bring them up to here and keep your elbows off the floor once you start getting stronger with this exercise. And then feet, you can start with your feet on the floor, you can bring your feet up to here to make it harder. So this would be easiest. Drop your knees right, drop your knees left. Bring your hands in closer to make it harder. And then the next thing would be bringing your feet up to here as you do the exercise. Good, and then if that's still too easy, try to bring your hands off of the floor and see if you can do them here. So you can play around with this one and see which way you can manage these best, and always look for the next challenge to make it a little bit harder. After that, we're going to do some bridges. Now, you can do bridges. We're going to do them with a single leg, so that makes it harder and you don't have one side that's maybe cheating for the other side. You put one leg up here, and you can try not to use your hands to push. You're going to use your glutes. So think about your glutes are going to push you straight up toward the ceiling. I even like to have you try to lift your toe and push through your heel to come on up and down and up and down. And you can always make this harder by adding some weights and holding them here right on your hips, and then lift and down, squeeze the glute and down. Try this one 5 more times. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's change legs. Remember, I'm showing you a pretty hard version here with the weights and everything. If that's too hard, you can set the weights aside and build up to this. Still pushing through my heel, keeping my toe off of the floor as much as I can. Let's do 2 more. And 1 more. Great. All right. Next one, we're going to set the weights aside. And we're going to do adductors. So that's your inner thigh, but this is also really a core workout. One foot is going to stay on the floor. It's going to stay right here. The other one, you're going to bring this leg up. Now, the leg is going to move out to the side and back in, kind of like a windshield wiper. That's what I always try to envision. But you want to make sure it happens is you don't move your hips. Your hips shouldn't turn over toward this side when you do it. You want to try to really tighten up your abdominals and make your body stay perfectly still while that leg is moving. And the other thing people do that they don't even realize and they're cheating is they let this leg go out this way as this leg goes this way, this one tries to go that way. So you could even put one hand on this thigh to try to remind it not to move. And then you're going to go out and in. Incorporate some breathing. Go inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, down and up, and down and up. You start to feel that inner thigh. Got the core muscles working. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. And then let's try the other side. Again, leg is up. You put this hand on this leg to remind it not to move. And take it out and in. And you might not be able to go quite as far out to the side as you think you want to go because you have enough flexibility. But if it's making you fall over, then you're going too far. You want to keep it under control where your core can keep you from tipping over to that side. 4 more. And 3, 2, and 1. All right? Bring the leg down. And then we're going to go to another upper body exercise, but that also, you'll feel your core again. We're going to use a little heavier weight. I'm going to use this one Probably you want to start with about 8 pounds. You get to put both hands on it. We're going to start like this. Feet are on the floor with the knees bent. Your spine is in neutral, and you're going to reach the weight over. Now, what people often do is as they reach over, there are back arches. See how I'm lifting my rib cage and letting my back arch? You want to try not to let that happen. So you're going to hold your abdominals kind of tight and think about holding your rib cage down flat. And that way your core gets a workout too. And then you're going to reach over and bring it back straight up to the ceiling. Over and up. Exhale and inhale. And exhale and inhale. If you can, touch your thumbs to the floor over here. If you can't quite get there, that's okay. Just concentrate on what's going on with your back and your ribs, staying in neutral, not letting your back arch, keeping the ribs down. Let's do a few more. One more time. Reach over, bring it up. All right, very good. Now I have some side lying exercises for you to try. So let's roll to your side. I'm going to start out with a 5-pound weight here. Bend your knees, bring your knees forward so you have a right angle at your hip and your knee. And I'm going to have you put your head down and rest it on your arm. That way your spine stays in a nice straight position better than having you up on this elbow the whole time. Okay. Now the weight is kind of optional. You can start this one without the weight if you want to. But then once you get good at these, the weight goes right here on your knee. And your feet are going to stay together, but you're going to lift the knee up and down and lift and down. Make sure you don't let your hips rock back. You want to keep your hips stacked up, one right above the other, and down, and lift, and down. And you should start to feel that right back here. These are the muscles we're trying to target on the side of the hip. Do 4 more, and 3, 2, and 1. All right. And then before we switch to the other side, we're going to do a side plank on this side. So come up to your elbow now. You can straighten your legs out more so they're not, your knees aren't out in front of you anymore. They're back here kind of in a line with your body. Okay. Now I'm going to straighten out my top leg, but leave my bottom one bent. That'll help me with balance and stability on this one. So make sure this elbow is right underneath the shoulder. A weight is again optional, but if you want, you can place it right here. And we're going to lift the hip up off the ground so you end up in a straight line from this shoulder down to that knee, and then you just come back down. So you're going to go up and down, lift up and down. Try this again. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Now we're going to just switch to the other side and do both of those exercises again. So the first one was a clam. So we're going to lay all the way down, rest your head on your arm. Your knees are forward so you have a right angle at your hip and your knee. You can rest the weight here if you're using a weight. Keep your feet together. And we're just going to lift this knee up and down. We're working on those side hip muscles, kind of the side of your butt. Don't let the hips rock. And let's stop there. And we're going to repeat the other exercise, which was a side plank. So make sure you got your shoulder right above your elbow. If it's out here, it puts a lot more pressure on your shoulder. It's not very comfortable. So get it right underneath. Straighten out the legs a little so you have more of a straight line from your head down through your hips. And the top leg is out straight. And then we're going to lift up and down. And then if you want the weight here, you put the weight here. And lift and down. And lift and down. Up and down. Try 3 more times. And 2. And 1. Very good. All right. Now we're just going to stretch out a little. We're going to come to our hands and knees. Try a cat stretch. And a cow stretch. One more time, round your back up, tuck your tailbone under, and then try to arch your back, lift your tailbone, and look up. Then take your knees out a little bit wider, then sit back on your heels, slide your hands out in front, bring your head down, and relax. Inhale, and exhale. One more time, inhale, and exhale. And that's everything.